and Shirley Jones CBE, is a former table tennis and lawn tennis champion. She won a total of 7 Grand Slam championships during her career, 3 in singles, 3 in women's doubles, and 1 in mixed doubles. As of 2016, she currently serves as a vice president of the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club. Career. Jones was born in Kings Heath, Birmingham, England. Her parents were prominent table tennis players, her father, Adrian Hayden, having been British #1 and a competitor at World Championships between 1928 and 1953. And, as a young girl, also took up the game, participating in 5 World Championships in the 1950s, the best result being losing finalist in singles, doubles and mixed doubles all in Stockholm 1957. Soon after this she wrote the book, Tackle Table Tennis This Way. She was also a powerful lawn tennis player, winning the 1954 and 1955 British Junior Championships. In 1956, she won the Wimbledon Girls Singles Championship. Jones played lawn tennis in a highly competitive era that included some of the greatest female tennis players of all time, including Billie Jean King, Margaret Court, and Maria Bueno. Despite the fierce competition, she won the 1961 French Championships, beating Margaret Smith Court, former champions at SUZS Cormaczi and Yola Ramirez Ochoa, and reached the final of the 1961 U.S. Championships, beating Wimbledon champion Angela Mortimer, losing to the defending champion, Darlene Hard. In 1962, she married P.F. Jones and, recorded as Anne Hayden Jones, won the French title for a second time in 1966, beating Maria Bueno and Nancy Ritchie. She also won the Italian championships that year, beating Françoise d'Or and Annette van Zyl. At both the Wimbledon Championships and the U.S. Championships in 1967, Jones lost in the final to King. 2 years later, however, the two again met in the Wimbledon final. This time, Jones took the most coveted title in the sport, making her the first left-handed female player to do so. She rounded off that year's Wimbledon by winning the Mixed Doubles Championship with Australia's Fred Stoll. Her performances resulted in her being voted the BBC Sports Personality of the Year. Jones made Wimbledon 1969 her last Grand Slam singles event. She was seeded #1 for the 1969 US Open but withdrew before the tournament began. She radically reduced her playing schedule for 1970, playing in South Africa where she won the Orange Free State Championships and the Western Province Championships. She then largely played only events in the United Kingdom for the remainder of the year. She returned to the international scene to play the Federation Cup event in Australia, where she partnered Virginia Wade on the British team. In 1971, Jones played on the Virginia Slims circuit, winning the U.S. $10,000 first prize for the event staged in Las Vegas, beating King in the final. Jones more or less retired after this event as she was expecting her first child. However, Jones continued to play the occasional UK event and was part of the 1975 Whiteman Cup team for Great Britain. In 1977, Jones teamed with Winnie Wooldridge to play doubles at Wimbledon. According to Lance Stingay of the Daily Telegraph and the Daily Mail and Bud Collins, Jones was ranked in the world top 10 from 1957 through 1963 and from 1965 through 1970, reaching a career high of world No. 2 in those rankings in 1967 and 1969. According to Mark Lewison in the Complete Beatles recording sessions on 4 July 1969, the Beatles paused the dubbing session for the song Golden Slumbers to listen to Jones beat King for the Wimbledon title live on radio. With the dawn of the Open era in 1968, Jones joined with King and others to organize the first professional female touring group. In 1970, she was hired by the BBC as a guest commentator and worked with them for over 3 decades, while occasionally commentating for US TV stations' tennis coverage. Jones was chairwoman of the Women's International Tennis Council and for many years the British team captain for events such as the Federation and Whiteman Cups. Over her career, she reached 6 Wimbledon semi-finals in addition to her 2 appearances in the final. In 1958, beating Maria Bueno and losing to defending champion Althea Gibson. 1960, beating Renée Schumann-Haygarth and losing, after nearly winning, to Sandra Reynolds. 1962, beating Billie Jean Moffat and losing to eventual champion Karen Hansa-Sussman. 1963, losing to beaten finalist Billie Jean Moffat. 1966, beating Nancy Ritchie and losing a Titanic struggle to Maria Bueno 3-6, 11-9, 5-7, and 1968, beating Ritchie and losing after leading by a set and a break to holder Billie Jean King in the U.S. Nationals, as well as her final appearances in 1961 and 1967, and Jones also reached 3 semi-finals in 1959, beating second seed Sandra Reynolds and losing to Christine Truman in 1963, beating second seed Darlene Hardin, losing 9-7 in the third to eventual winner Maria Bueno, and in 1968, beating Peaches Barkovich and losing to eventual winner Virginia Wade, as well as winning the French championships twice. Jones reached 3 other French finals, beating Annette van Zyl and losing to Nancy Ritchie in 1968, and beating Rosemary Castles and Leslie Turner and losing in 3 sets to Margaret Smith Court in 1969. Of her 3 losing finals in the French championships, there was one which nearly added to her total of wins. 1963, when having remarkably beaten Jan Lehane and Vera Sukova for the loss of 1 game in 4 sets, she led Leslie Turner Bowrey 5-2 in the final set. She also reached the semi-finals in 1957, aged 17, beating third seed Christiane Mercelis and losing a tough semi-final to Dorothy Headnode, and in 1962 beating Jan Lehane and losing to Leslie Turner Bowrey in the British Hard Courts Championships, after losing in the finals in 1958 to Shirley Bloomer-Brasher and 1960 to Christine Truman James. She was undefeated from 1963 to 1966, winning finals against Norma Bailon, Jan Lehane, Annette van Zyl and Virginia Wade. She was a stalwart in the Whiteman Cup from 1957 to 1967, 1970 and 1975, winning the deciding match in 1958 against Mimi Arnold when Britain won for the first time since 1930, taking both her singles against Billie Jean Moffat King and Nancy Ritchie in 1965, and overall winning 9 singles and 6 doubles. Despite playing at a time when there were 4 other British winners of the French, Australian, US and Wimbledon titles around, she was ranked No. 1 in her country on 7 occasions before turning professional. Naturally a baseline and effective as such on clay, she schooled herself to become a most effective net player, perhaps seen at her best when attacking Margaret Smith Court to defeat in the Wimbledon semi-final of 1969. Apart from Althea Gibson, early in her career, there was not a leading player of her era that she did not beat on several occasions. In 1971 she published her entertaining and modest tennis autobiography, A Game to Love. Jones caused something of a stir on the 30th of August 1962 when she married businessman Philip "Pip" Jones, who was 31 years her senior and 5 years older than her father. The couple later became the butt of many jokes on Monty Python's Flying Circus during its series run. As a running gag, the Pythons would frequently insert Anne Hayden Jones and her husband Pip into any sketch where a list of names was being read off. In 1985, Jones was voted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame. For many years, Jones was chairwoman of the International Women's Tennis Council and has long been a member of Wimbledon's Committee of Management. She became the first ever civilian woman to present the trophies at Wimbledon, when she awarded the winners of the Mixed Doubles Championship the cup in 2007, a ceremony she now regularly performs. She has since also presented the Junior Girls Trophy. Already a member of the Order of the British Empire, Jones was appointed Commander of the Order of the British Empire in the 2014 New Year Honours for services to tennis. Grand Slam record. Australian Open Mixed Doubles Champion 1969. French Championships Open Singles Champion, Singles Runner-up, Women's Doubles Champion, Women's Doubles Runner-up, Mixed Doubles Runner-up 1960, 1966, 1967. Wimbledon Singles Champion, Singles Runner-up, Women's Doubles Runner-up, Mixed Doubles Champion, Mixed Doubles Runner-up 1962. U.S. Championship Singles Runner-up, Women's Doubles Runner-up 1960. Grand Slam Finals. Singles 9 doubles, 6 mixed doubles, 5. Although both teams shared the 1969 Australian Open Mixed Doubles title, it is not counted in the official Grand Slam title count. Grand Slam performance timelines. Singles Doubles Singles titles. 1956 Cheltenham, Sunderland Championships, Welsh Championships, Worthing Hard Courts, North of England Championships. 1957 Tally-Ho Tournament, Northumberland County Championships, Malvern, Sunderland Championships, South of England Championships. 1958 Tally-Ho, Durham. 1959 Mexico City, Pan American Championships. 1960 Finnish Championships, Scandinavian Indoors, German Indoors, Good Neighbor Championships, Miami, St. Petersburg Masters, Caribe Hilton International, Mexico City, St. Andrews Invitations, Kingston, Caribbean Championships, Tally-Ho Tournament, Sutton Hard Courts, Malvern Championships, Cologne Championships, Essex County Championships, Pacific Southwest Championships, Championships of Morocco, Torquay Palace Indoors, 1961 Good Neighbor Championships, Miami, French Championships, Wolverhampton Open, Lowther Championships, Irish Championships, Welsh Championships, Canadian Nationals, Chilean Nationals, Sao Paulo Championships, 1962 West Province Championships, Hewlett's Hardcourts Durban, French Indoors, Scandinavian Indoors, British Covered Court Championships, Cumberland Hardcourts, Sutton Hardcourts, London Hardcourts, Cheltenham Midland Championships, Welsh Championships, St Moritz, Palace Torquay, 1963 Coupe Pierre Gillou, German Indoors, Scandinavian Indoor Championships, French Indoors, Carlton International, Sutton Championships, British Hardcourts, London Hardcourts, Wolverhampton, Cheltenham, Hoylake Open, Carlion Bay Championships, 1964 British Hardcourts, Sutton Coldfield, Surrey Championships, Bavarian Championships, British Covered Court Championships, Carlion Bay Covered Courts, 1965 German German indoors, French indoors, Dutch indoor, Cumberland Championships, Sutton Hard Courts, British Hard Courts, British Covered Court Championships, Carlion Bay Covered Courts, Palace Torquay, 1966 German indoors, French indoors, Cumberland Championships, British Hard Courts, Connaught, Italian Championships, French Championships, Moscow International, 1967 German indoors, Scandinavian indoors, Dixie International, Barranquilla Championships, Caracas Championships, Curacao Invitational, Mexico City, Caribe Hilton International, Masters Invitational, Ghent Championships, Essex Championships, 1968 Caracas, Queen's Club, Argentine and AMP, South American Open, 1969 New Zealand Open, Monte Carlo Open, Belgian Open, Queen's Club Grass Championships, Wimbledon, Aix-en-Provence Championships, British Covered Court Championships, 1970 Orange Free State Championships, Western Province Championships, Benson and AMP, Hedges Open, Biostrath London Hard Court Championships, Surrey Grass Courts, Chichester, Eastbourne International, Turkish International, Duke Cup Torquay, 1971 Caribe Hilton International, Caesars Palace World Pro, 1975 Torquay Palace Indoors.